You're listening to the True North Success Podcast. Real stories of personal, professional, and financial wins from Alberta's best. With your hosts, Gary Ma and Amy Kim.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, my special guest is Kathryn Wytsma-Fisher. She is a dedicated clinical exercise physiologist and the founder of Wytsma Health and Movement. With nearly 20 years of clinical experience, she specializes in helping individuals with chronic diseases improving their life through personalized activity. Her Calgary-based practice focuses on bringing wellness directly to client homes, removing the common barriers of travel and clinical environments. Kathryn holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in kinesiology from the University of Calgary. Through her work as an entrepreneur and a researcher, Kathryn remains a passionate advocate for using exercise as a form of medicine to manage long-term health conditions. It is my pleasure to have Kathryn Wytsma-Fisher on the show today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Kathryn, I gave a quick overview of your success, but can you fill in the details of what you do, who you serve, and how long you've been doing this for?
Yeah, so I've been a clinical exercise physiologist for almost 20 years. I've worked in a number of different positions, but have really been in the private practice space since about 2023, 2024. And my practice really services those who may not want to go to a traditional facility or gym to exercise. I bring exercise to their homes and allows me to be able to teach people how to be active within their own space and really finds a way for them to get some movement in on a daily basis. So I bring exercise to people's locations.
So, is there a lot of equipment that's involved with doing something like that? I mean, like sometimes you go to a therapist place, they've got all these big machines and things like that. Like, do you have that in the back of your car?
That's a great question. So I usually work with what people have. We can get something small like balls, bands, dumbbells, those types of things. So they're able to have those kind of within their own space. But often I teach people how to be active just with small pieces of equipment
Okay.
so we don't have to worry about the big leg press or chest press or anything like that. And we're able to do it on a smaller scale.
Right on, right on. So what led you to become a kinesiologist?
So I went into kinesiology in 2003. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in how the body worked and how to make it better. So really from kind of a clinical aspect, I wanted to figure out how, if something was wrong with the body, how could you improve it? And kinesiology at that time was a growing field and it could figure out how to improve it with exercise. So this is really interesting to me. I'd been really active as a young adult as well. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole movement and exercise piece was really, really interesting to me. So I got into that field knowing that I wanted to focus more on chronic disease and wellness and health and that side of things. So did my undergrad in 2007 is when I finished and then started my master's in 2010.
So you saw this, sounds like you saw this opportunity to really help people, but you needed some training
Yeah.
in kinesiology. And,
Yeah.
so did you have an experience earlier on, like when you were growing up that, like did you experience kinesiology or from a past experience type of thing that led you to this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had been really active as a young adult. I played
Mm-hmm.
soccer and was involved in a lot of different things, and I was really interested in kind of the clinical when something's wrong, like someone has diabetes or someone's had a stroke or
Mm-hmm.
a musculoskeletal injury, how do we fix that? How do we do something with that? And so for me, kinesiology seemed like the natural step to be able
Okay.
to do that. I didn't have a lot of experience with anybody in kinesiology, but I was really fascinated by it, and it was a great program that was offered at the University of Calgary, so I was really excited to get involved with that. And
Right.
then after my undergrad, then I recognized that I needed more training, more
Okay.
information to be able to do the work that I wanted to do, which is why I went back and did my master's degree.
Okay. Okay. What do you think sets you apart from the competition? Like what comes easy to you, maybe that others find challenging?
Yeah, I think that my ability to form relationships with my clients
Okay.
and the amount of education that I have, unlike a lot of other individuals who may just have like personal training experience, coming with a master's degree in clinical exercise physiology really sets me apart. And I'm just able to form a good relationship with my clients. I really make it as comfortable and accessible to them as possible. And being able to come to their homes is just a really unique opportunity for them to be able to be active in their own space.
Right. Yeah. I mean that really is quite unique, where you're going to the client's home instead of the client coming to an office, let's say location.
Yeah.
So that must allow the client to be much more comfortable in that environment.
Absolutely. And it's really this personalized relationship where they're inviting me into their space. I truly recognize that it's a privilege that I get to go into their space. So I'm really lucky that way that clients feel comfortable enough to have me in their own personal space and be able to work with them that way.
Right, right, right. What kind of tips or suggestions would you give someone who wants to be more successful?
Exercise perspective or from an education perspective?
Well, I mean, it could be either. Any kind of tips or suggestions, to be more successful.
Yeah, I would think for an incoming kinesiologist who wants to be more successful, I would really encourage them to never stop learning. Because even though I'm not traditionally following a school path, I'm always still trying to learn and trying to improve myself to be better so that I can serve my clients better. So it's really important for me that I'm constantly in a learning space, learning from my clients, learning from different education, and being able to have that kind of learner's mindset from whatever I can do. And then from a patient's perspective, in terms of tips and tricks, is just starting small and getting
Hmm.
a small little piece of movement in. And that could be something as simple as even just walking around your house, getting up from
Hmm.
your desk every hour, something as simple as that, because movement doesn't have to be really complicated. And I think that's really the message that I try and bring to my clients is to keep it really simple and to figure out a way that they can move their own body in a safe and supportive way.
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's a great tip, like not overcomplicating it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like keeping it simple.
keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Wow. Like just taking a break from your desk every so often
Yeah,
and moving. Yeah, I mean, I know I have to do that more often because I'm stuck on my desk a lot.
yeah.
So yeah, that's great. What's one of the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome in your career, and how were you able to turn that into a positive?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges was trying to find my niche and what I was really
Okay.
interested in. The nice thing about private practice is it gives me flexibility. I've got a young
Hmm.
family at home and I have a son who's got a few health concerns, and so we've got lots of appointments that we're dealing with, and the private practice allows me to be flexible. So I'm really fortunate that I have a supportive husband who allows me to be able to be in the private practice space. And I've really turned that into a positive by having a program and a practice that's really focused on family first. So um, talk to all of my clients about the importance of family and supportive care and social support and those types of things.
Hmm.
And then I really try and practice that myself by advocating. I have an employee contractor who works with me named Neil. And so Neil and I really talk about how it's family focused and really supportive in that way. And no matter what work we're doing, we've got to obviously put our families first.
Right, 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 right. I mean, it sounds like things are going pretty well for you and your business.
Mhm.
As a busy healthcare professional, a lot of time is spent running the active business. When
Yeah.
looking towards the future, many don't want to have to be working so hard for that income. So some of them, look at different ways of creating income and profits outside of actively working. Things like maybe investing in stocks, bonds, crypto, or using a financial planner. What are your thoughts about different ways of creating income outside of your work?
Yeah, well, I know my husband and I, we work closely with a financial planner to help us kind of plan our future going forward. And I think that's really important. I think the most important thing with that is having that conversation and recognizing that if you only look at yourself as the only income source.
Hmm.
A lot of potential to expand beyond that. So we're kind of actively looking for different ways to expand beyond that. So recognizing that work is only going to be short term, and we have to kind of look beyond that for that measure as well.
Right, right, right. So it's important to consider where you are. Also look at what the future could bring,
Absolutely. Yeah. And
right?
what you want that to look like for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, time can be your friend or your enemy,
Yeah,
type of
exactly.
thing, depending on where you're at,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Especially on in terms of investing, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as we're wrapping up our interview, what kind of exciting plans do you have in the works in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, I'm hoping that I can bring on a female CEP. Neil is wonderful, and it would be great to be able to have a female support CEP as well to be able to be a contractor. So I'd love to see that kind of come onto the
Mm-hmm.
team. And we're looking to kind of build and expand as much as possible, trying to talk to different seniors' homes, trying to talk to
Mm-hmm.
different medical facilities, and really explain how we're a unique opportunity for their patients to provide support. So, really just trying to get the word out there that we're available, we're working hard, and we're
Yeah.
to grow as much as possible.
Right on, right on. Catherine, that wraps it up today. Thank you so much for your time and your tips and insights. It was a real pleasure to have you on the show. And Catherine, if people want to connect with you, what's the best way?
The best way is probably through LinkedIn, or you can go to my website, whitesmahealthandmovement.ca. Is probably the easiest way to find me. Or you can, yeah, like I said, reach out on LinkedIn and have a conversation. I'd love to just connect with as many people as possible.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at truenorthsuccessshow.com/guest. We'd love to hear from you.